Now imagine a pool of water. Pool is there, that means water should be stagnant. If water is cool and calm, and on that, suppose you are dropping a stone, you will observe that waves will get produced in that water, and you will get concentric rings of waves that is going to expand. Now I am revising. If you observe that pool from say sideway, you will get this type, say a constant layer. This is the pool water where this is superficial layer is constant. Now you are disturbing it by adding out stone at this point. You will find that certain ups and downs like that will be there. If you observe from side, you will get this way. If you observe from front side, suppose you are observing from this angle, you are dropping stone here, you will observe a concentric rings and they are propagating out to the periphery. So like that the waves get produced in the water. Getting idea exact? You can try out this experiment at your own cost. Not necessary pool, even in well also you can do this experiment, but be careful. You have to drop only stone, not yourself. So take care. So this way waves are produced. Now these waves, if you observe carefully, that they are moving from center to periphery. I was also supposing the way that suppose I am dropping out stone here, then water molecules are moving to periphery from center. But practically speaking, no. You can check out. First, place here a piece of thermocol. Say this is a piece of thermocol, and then drop out stone. If water molecules are moving in this direction, then on dropping stone, the thermocol should move in this direction. So just by dropping stone at center, the thermocol which is near to that center, that should come out of the center and it should go to periphery and return it back. But no, you will observe that thermocol is just moving ups and down at their own position. This is called as oscillating or oscillation. So you will get the thermocol piece moving just here. That means suppose this is the layer of water, this is the stone or disturbance is created, piece of thermocol is here. The thermocol piece will oscillate in this direction, ups and downs. Here ups and down. So same way here ups and down. Whereas the waves are produced, that waves will propagate in this direction. So what is the propagation direction? This is the propagation direction. What is the oscillation direction of particle? This is the oscillation direction of particle. That means particle is here, it will move this way and this way. So this is the direction of oscillation or vibration, whereas this is the direction of wave propagation, because you will observe the wave is moving towards this periphery. So both directions are perpendicular to each other. We are calling this as transverse waves. Getting idea why we are calling this wave as transverse wave? Because the wave propagation direction is different, whereas particle oscillate to perpendicular direction of this oscillation, and therefore we are getting here perpendicular direction. So this type of wave we are calling as transverse wave. We are now focusing only on transverse wave. There is another category of wave, what sound you are hearing, that sound waves are there, and these sound waves we are calling that as longitudinal wave. Only little bit I want to explain that in case of longitudinal wave, the direction of propagation of wave and oscillation of particle, that is in same direction. Whereas here we are getting direction of propagation of wave in this direction, so oscillation of particle in perpendicular direction. So this way we can discuss about wave. Now this wave nature you can check out, we can carry out experiment on your own at this water. In laboratory, we can do another type of experiment by using thread, string, and using tuning fork. We can get another nature of wave over there. Now, we are focusing on wave characteristics. Say, this was initial surface, but on creating disturbance, some ups are there, we are calling wave, and some downs are there. So, you can observe this way the wave. If I am magnifying, you can observe this type of wave. So, this is actually mean position. That means before creation of disturbance, this was the position. On creating disturbance, water moves here down, whereas here up. This is nature of wave. If you observe in case of tsunami, that wave destroyed various parts of South India, that is tsunami. Japan is more familiar with this type of wave. Before arrival of tsunami, many people observe that water from seashore is moving to inside the sea, away from land initially, and then when wave struck out, it was going in the city. So why initially the seashore was exposed? Because there was creation of crest, and so water moved down, and that's why we are getting tremendous area exposed, usually which is not exposed during low tide. That area was also exposed because the height of wave was to greater extent. Let us check out what word I am using here, height of wave. Instead of that, we are using certain scientific words over here. And so, we are focusing out in schematic diagram of wave. So, here with our consideration, we are starting out here graphical representation this way, that this line I am drawing here, this is called as mean position. Now, if this is the mean position, I am giving this part of wave. Say my drawing is not perfect, try to understand. This is curve. This is the part which is moving up, the mean position, whereas this much is moving down. This both heights should be same. This is called as crest, whereas this is called as trough. One crest plus one trough, that will give me a complete wave. So this is either I should call as wave or I should call this as a cycle. I am revising, this is complete. I am calling as one crest plus one trough as complete wave or single cycle of wave. Now, if I am drawing this way, the crest and trough, then obviously in red color I mark this is the mean position. Initially this layer was there. After disturbance is created, we got this production of crest and trough. Now here I am removing out this letter crest and trough because we have to show another characteristic here. That word I used, height of wave. This is not actually height of wave. We are calling that as an amplitude. Say this is mean position. Height of wave I should match from this or I should match from this. So answer is that initially what is the level of water? This. Then from that what is the height going? So this is the height. We are using word as amplitude. What is the meaning of amplitude? The maximum displacement of particle from mean position. So from mean position, which is maximum displacement, that is the amplitude of wave. So here I am showing a concept amplitude. The maximum displacement is also denoted by letter that is called as 1 maxima. So here either I should say maxima or this distance we are calling, means if I have to show a point, then this point is called as maxima, whereas this distance I should call amplitude. So this way we have amplitude, we have maxima. What is this? You are aware this is mean position. Everywhere m is there. Whereas here you are getting a position, this is minima. Minima is minimum position of the wave. So this is minima, this is maxima. This should be also called as amplitude. Why? Because whatever the distance is there, this maxima, so this amplitude and this amplitude is matching, because this is exact replica of this. Only thing is that this is moving upward, this is moving downward. This cycle continues. So there is another maxima, there is another minima, or crest and trough. So like that cycles continue. Getting idea? So this is complete wave. So in wave we discuss about certain characteristic. What is amplitude of wave? Now you are aware. What is maxima, mean position and minima? You are aware of now these three positions also. Now we are talking of another concept that is called as wavelength. What is one wave? We discuss that wave is consisting of one maxima and one crest and one trough. So this is one crest and one trough. So this crest begins from this point, whereas trough end in this point. So this distance should be considered as wavelength. So this is mean position. Suppose I am writing here 1. This is mean position 2. This is mean position 3. So one mean position I have to eliminate and next I have to consider. So I can say distance between alternate mean position. Why alternate? Because I am not counting out this mean position and I am counting out this mean position. So distance between alternate mean position is called as wavelength. Now I am revising. What is wavelength? Distance between successive, this is successive, alternate mean position, or successive, remove that, forget. So distance between alternate mean position is called as wavelength. So wavelength is denoted by letter. This is something looking like inverted Y. This letter is pronounced as lambda. So for measurement of wavelength or denotion of wavelength, we are denoting this in terms of lambda. So this way we have now wavelength. What is wavelength? Distance between alternate mean position is called as wavelength. Again question is that suppose I am counting out from this minima to this minima. Let us check out. Say this is 1/4 of wave. Why? Because this entire is full wave. So this is distance half of wave. So half of half. So here this is half. So half of half, that is 1/4. So this is 1/4 of wave. Same way this is 1/4 of wave. This is 1/4 of wave. And again this is 1/4 of wave. You can check out 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4. What we can do, if denominator is same, just add out numerator. So you are getting 4/4, that is 1. So this entire will constitute me one wave. So in second reading, I can show here the distance between successive minima is also giving me one wave. So wavelength, I can define this way also. The distance between successive minima is called as one wavelength or wavelength simply. So I can define lambda in first way as distance between alternate mean position. So M1, I should not count M2, I should go for M3. So alternate mean position. So this distance is one wavelength. My second definition, distance between successive minima. Successive means followed by. So this is first minima, this is second minima. So distance between two successive minima, that is also called as wavelength. So I am having now two definition, but same way should I consider this also? You will get same distance. Whatever the distance between two successive minima, that is the distance between two successive maxima. And so my third definition we are calling as distance between two successive maxima is called as wavelength. So we are discussing here about wavelength, and in that wavelength concept we discuss that distance between two successive maxima or distance between two successive minima is called as wavelength. Same way distance between alternating mean position is also called as wavelength. So now you are aware about wavelength concept. Now in case of wave, we are considering something that is called as phase of wave. But I hope that this is not the proper place here that I should introduce the concept of phase, that is in phase and out of phase. That concept actually we have to discuss, but this is not proper position, and so I am eliminating out. But you can keep in mind only distance, only definition of wavelength. The proper higher level definition is that any point, 2 point, successive, those who are in phase, the distance between these in phase successive point, that is called as wavelength. Here I should show that both maxima in phase, both minima in phase. Suppose this point is there, then I should not call this in phase because this is going down. So same way going down, I have to mark out a point here, and then I should call these 2 points as in phase point. So distance between these two, that is also called as wavelength. Any point here consider. So same way I have to consider a similar point here. I am not considering this point. So this is called as in phase, and distance between successive in phase point we are calling as wavelength. But right now you can remember only these 3 definitions, that is distance between 2 successive maxima, distance between 2 successive minima, and distance between alternating mean position, that is called as wavelength. Now after getting knowledge of this wavelength, we have to introduce another concept about wave. That concept we are calling as frequency of radiation or frequency of wave. One cycle that corresponds to one crest and one trough, that is one cycle. Now waves are passing out. In a second, what is number of waves passing out? That is called as frequency of that radiation. I am revising. What is frequency of radiation? Frequency of radiation is number of cycles passing out through a particular point in 1 second. That is called as frequency of radiation. Revising, number of waves passing out in 1 second through particular point, that is called as frequency of radiation. So here it is very clear that in order to pass more wavelength should be smaller. In order to pass less wavelength should be longer. Say here 2 waves are there in this particular distance. Suppose I am drawing another wave, say by like this. So this wave is having one crest and one trough. So wavelength is longer. But in second, suppose these 2 waves are passing, smaller one, the bigger only one wave will pass if velocity is constant. And that's why we are saying that what is frequency? Number of waves passing out through particular point in 1 second, that is frequency. And frequency is denoted by letter, this is something V shape, but we are bending out this way. This is pronounced as nu. So what is frequency? The frequency is nu. Is here we are introducing another concept in mathematics, that is proportionality. So here I am saying that frequency, this sign is there, that is indicating frequency, indicating proportionality sign, and here we are writing 1 by lambda. What is the meaning of that? As lambda increases, denominator is lambda, numerator is 1. As lambda increases, the net value will decrease out. So frequency is net value, that is decreasing out. So as wavelength increases, frequency decreases. As wavelength decreases, frequency increases. So here very clear question is there, that what is nature between wavelength and frequency? We are using word here inverse proportion. Inverse proportion means one increases, another decreases. Clear? So this is the proportionality sign we are introducing here. So nature between frequency and wavelength is this way. As here in first example, consider a blue colored wave. in 1 second, suppose 2 waves are passing out. So what is frequency? 2 cycles per second. Now I increase wavelength, black color wave consider. What is frequency? 1 cycle per second. And so wavelength increased, frequency decreased, and so on. Now what is unit of frequency? Unit of frequency is simple, that is cycles per second. But here lot of work is done by scientist hertz. So in honor of this hertz, we are giving the unit as hertz. So what is 1 hertz? 1 cycle per second. That is called as 1 hertz. So I am saying frequency is 50 hertz. That means what? 50 cycles per second. Then that is called as 50 hertz frequency. Suppose I am saying frequency is 100 hertz. That means 100 cycle per second. That is called as frequency. So here we are aware of now frequency, we are aware of unit of frequency, we are aware of now what is proportion between these. And so we are focusing on next topic, that is the energy of radiation. Now wavelength is associated with energy, or radiation rather, radiation is associated with energy. Don't believe? Just go and stand in outside sunlight. You will feel warm or hot also. That sunlight is carrying out energy. You are aware of different types of lights used for heating purpose also. Lights, whatever the tungsten lamp is there, tungsten bulb, that is also used for heating purpose. You are aware that if you focus out sunlight with help of a convex lens, then that is having capacity to burn even wood, that can rise out temperature. Solar cooker is best implementation of energy given by sunlight. You are aware that solar cells are there, they are charging out and discharging out, they are charging out batteries, and then we are using, batteries will get discharged. That means solar energy is trapped. So radiation is there, radiation is associated with energy, and there is connection between radiation of energy and frequency of energy, frequency of light. So that connection is given as E, that energy is directly proportional to frequency. Say purposefully I am writing out here, here we are getting nu is inversely proportional. This increases, this decreases. Whereas here, this increases, this increases. This decreases, this decreases. So sign is proportionality sign. But what is the meaning here? This is directly proportional, whereas this is inversely proportional. But by using this sign of proportionality, I am not able to calculate. So in order to calculate, what I should do, that I have to remove this sign of proportionality. So what I am doing here, that proportionality sign is replaced by sign of equality, and then we are placing here some constant. Now here this relation is good as long as velocity of light is same. If velocity of light is changed, then obviously relation is going to change, and therefore we are placing here constant at C. Constant is having a constant value. Keep in mind that value is not changing out. That's why we are calling that as constant. So I am replacing out this sign of proportionality by introducing equality sign and one constant. So here velocity of light is constant, therefore this equation holds good. So we are placing here nu, that is equal to C into 1 by lambda. Or simply I can write this way, that nu is equal to C by lambda. So this is my equation number 1. So we derived this equation from simple fact that nu is inversely proportional to lambda, and on basis of that we discussed this. Now same way I had to check out this. E is directly proportional to nu. I had to remove this. So what I can do, E is equal to, I am putting here equality sign, some constant I have to put here. we are giving a constant here named as h. Actually we can give any letter, but here some conventions we are following. So this constant is h and into nu. So simply I am removing this sign by this sign. So proportionality sign is replaced by equality sign and h. Now this theory and this equation is given by a great scientist named as Max Planck. In honor of that, we are calling this constant as Planck's constant. So E equal to h nu. So I am getting now my second equation as E equal to h nu. So I can correlate frequency and wavelength. I can correlate energy and frequency. Can I correlate energy and wavelength? Answer is yes. Why? E equal to h. What is the value of nu? Value of nu is c by lambda. So I can substitute here c by lambda. So this way I am getting equation that is E equal to h into c by lambda. This is third important equation in this series. We obtained this third equation by combination of equation 1 and 2. So now we have equation that energy of radiation equal to h, that is Planck's constant, into c upon lambda. Now value of h, that is Planck's constant, is given here, that is 6.63 into 10 to the power of minus 34 joules second. Now you are aware of value of h, you are aware value of c. For general purpose we are considering c as 3 lakh kilometers per second. So this way by knowing both the values you can find out energy if you are aware of wavelength, and if wavelength is aware then you can find out energy, and vice versa. So this way radiations are described. So here, in order to explain about radiation, we have number 1 wavelength, number 2 frequency, number 3 energy, and number 4 amplitude of that radiation. So this is the wave nature, and what is the characteristic here with respect to light. Now according to wave theory of light, light is made up of wave. We are calling this radiation as electromagnetic radiation. I am revising word, we are using electromagnetic radiation. Now what is electromagnetic radiation? Say you are aware of radio waves. You must have heard about that. Then you are aware of microwave. Microwave oven is there. Then microwave communication is there. You are aware of infrared light. You are aware of red, violet, etc. various colored light. All these radiations, or even ultraviolet also you are familiar. All these radiations are called as electromagnetic radiation. The certain answers are not getting out. In order to propagate the wave, there must be a medium. Without medium, how wave can propagate? This answer is not yet we are having. That why radiations are traveling in the space and without any medium. So scientists proposed out that we are not having knowledge of that medium, but there must be existence of a special type of medium that is called as ether. So they named this as ether, and yet it is not proved the presence of ether. So this is a hypothetical medium through which electromagnetic radiations are traveling out. Now we are focusing on another topic, that is what is the nature we discuss about this wave. Now we are focusing on topic that is which are the electromagnetic radiations we can study out, and this is very important part, because by getting this entire knowledge about this energy etc., we are switching over to topic that is atomic structure, that belong to physics as well as chemistry. So that we are starting out after this lecture, getting exact nature of radiation, we are going out. So we are now focusing on radiations.